city lights to the country blue, Woody and Lew got the sports for you. From Boston streets to Kentucky's fields, get ready, folks, for the thrill it yields. Woody and Lew, sports and you, talking games, we love, it's true. Every play, every score, let's dive in, it's time for more. Lacing up the boots and calling plays, debates and laughs for all the days. From Fenway Park to Derby Run, sports talk magic just begun. Woody, Lew, sports and you, sideline stories coming through. Every cheer, heartbeat soar, tune in now, we'll give you more. Celtics screams to Wildcats roar, touchdowns, goals, and so much more. Grab a seat, enjoy the ride, Woody, Lew, right by your side.
The views expressed by the hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Department of Defense, the U.S. government, or any of its agencies. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. No attorney-client relationship is formed by providing this information, and nothing herein should be relied upon as legal counsel. For legal advice specific to your situation, please consult a qualified attorney. Braxton, it's so good to see you. It's been a long hiatus due to TDY and the demands of parenting, but here we are, March 22nd, episode 33. Anything you want to lead off with?
I think the last time we were live, we did discuss the potential for March to be a slow month for us because of stuff going on. So we forecasted that into our show, but I'm happy to be back. I'm glad that the stars aligned on this beautiful Sunday to discuss all the happenings. Oh
yeah. No, it's spring has sprung, especially here in Nashville. It was like 80 for most of the weekend. I went to the driving range yesterday. Did not hit them well at all. Knocking off the rust. And then went over to the Nations to watch the basketball tournament. It's a pretty cool outdoor barbecue bar.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
What part of town is that in?
It is, I guess, probably closest to West Nashville.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
For our Spotify listeners, I am back at the table. I don't know.
Yeah. Braxton is done playing the Hugh Freeze game.
Yeah. So much pain, Dan. And this is like the moping segment of I'm in this weird place where I think I've done too much because I've felt too good. And now I just like can't get right. Now it might be like compounded by some of the trips I've had to take. Icing has gone down. Elevation has not been elevated, but I'm here sitting now. When we're done with the show, trying to stand up is going to take me an hour, and then
an hour.
The hobble back to the bedroom is going to be a hobble. But first week back at work last week, and that was a trip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you like? Do you think you're like coming back too fast, or it's just because of the demands of life? You haven't been in the the regiment of taking care of what you need to take care of.
I'm hitting all my milestones in physical therapy, but it's the the adage of like, am I doing too much or am I not doing enough? And then the internal monologue. And far be it for me to overthink anything, especially my body's performance. So, the fact that I don't have hyperflexion in my right knee stresses me out. But
Sure.
physical therapist says it's normal at this time due to the swelling. But what if I didn't, go to these trips and I wouldn't have this swelling? So it's a constant mental battle. And for my Braxton Betts days, my mental fortitude can be shaky at times. So, but back to the point, I am back.
You're back
to the table. Back at the big
back
table,
at the kitchen table. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
No more Hugh Freeze. That wasn't the best look, but had to be done. How about we get? I know you are burning to talk about the March Madness NCAA basketball tournament and your beloved Kentucky Wildcats, but let's lead off first. We're a little late, but the World Baseball Classic and the U.S.'s run and performance through that tournament.
Yeah, Hugh Freeze is a great segue to either Kentucky men's basketball or Team USA baseball when you're talking to failed coaches, and in this case, managers. D-Row has no business coming back as Team USA's baseball manager. The lineup that he had, coupled with just roster management throughout, and we know that the ball clubs were telling him, especially in the pitching front, of like pitch allocations, and I get all that, and we could go on for a whole show about Scoble and the way he handled that, which I thought was so cheesy. It's really cheesy, and I don't think his agent did him any favors. And I think by him trying to go rogue and save face, it honestly just made it cheesier, at least from my perspective. But Mark DeRosa has this phenomenal club. Aaron Judge just proves that he's the smallest of men when it comes to like a pivotal point. To be 6'7", he really seems like 4'7" when he's at a point of friction. That the team needs him and relies on him. Bats couldn't get hot throughout. We had enough just like raw talent to obviously come in second in pool play. Thank God for the Italians getting espresso hot. And then, ultimately finding ourselves back in the championship against a hot Venezuelan team, which had a lot more names than I anticipated knowing. And Ronald Acuna played great. They all played really well. It was a great game, and we again had a chance to win it. And, we don't get the hits, and Mark DeRosa just has like the hottest bat and hottest infielder, and just refuses to play him when it matters. So Gunnar Henderson. So yeah, I think it was fun. It was so much fun. It was a great thing to have on while recovering and a little more time in bed. And I love the World Baseball Classic, and I look forward to it next couple of years. But I think D-Row needs to go, even though he's already cemented, I want to be back. But back-to-back second places against two different countries isn't going to cut it.
I couldn't agree more. And we'll talk about it when we get into the basketball tournament. But the biggest reason why I'm not totally into basketball in the March Madness tournament this year is, Notre Dame was terrible. Just didn't do anything all season, but a combination of the Winter Olympics taking place in February and then rolling right into World Baseball Classic. I didn't really watch any of the conference tournaments. I was totally locked in on the World Baseball Classic, and it was a blast. It was so much fun, especially the knockout games. I was like, it's too early in the year for these Game 7 type atmospheres, and having it in Miami. Venezuela had a home game for the most part at the Miami Marlins home stadium, Lone Depot Park. But that place was going nuts.
No, it's the most attention Miami's had in baseball in a long time, and it highlights the potential that Miami has to be a baseball mecca. But Marlins just can't get it going for them. But no, it was awesome. There was one weekend, I think it was still pool play. We'd been at the house at that point for 27 days or so, and all of the girls were antsy, and we decided to take a little mini trip up to Hilton Head. And we got a hotel room, and we went with the two queens. So me and Kaylee in a bed, and then the girls in the other bed.
Yep.
And like my degenerateness got to the point of like the girls are trying to sleep, and the TV's right in the middle, and I have like Japan and Czech Republic just blaring at like 10:30 at night.
Did you not bring like your AirPods and just watch it on your? You got YouTube TV on your phone, Braxton.
Very, very aware of that. But no, I was trying to watch it on the big screen. I had to transition to it. But,
gotcha.
But it was, the World Baseball Classic was so important that I'm watching teams play in, the Pacific at 5 a.m, late at night, just because you got me feeling a type of way, and baseball's back. And, I think we've talked about it a lot. With us being in Poland, we've talked about that. But that spring training time, like when the year turns, like it just gives a feeling of pride in America, and just like, our country, like baseball's back.
Yeah.
And in a way that like I get fired up, when preseason football starts and Hard Knocks comes out, like I get excited, but like the overall like just vibe change that I get when the sun's getting out early, the sun's coming out, staying up later, and the weather's kind of hitting you a little different. You're mowing, you're weed eating, and you got ball getting played, and I'm super excited to pay my $200 for Braves TV. I guess I have like 5 days to do that, so I can start watching opening day coming up.
Yeah. Now I'm going to make a proposal. We can still do this towards the end of the show that we've been doing the last couple of weeks with our weekly Dodo Bird of the Week. But I want to know, who is your biggest dodo from Team USA Baseball's devastating defeat in the championship game?
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge is your dodo?
Yes.
Okay.
For World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, World Baseball Classic. My dodo is Tarek Skubal. I like what? It's just insane. Like, he shows up like wearing Team USA hockey sweater, and it's just like, you quit. I mean, I understand like the insurance stuff and the home baseball club and conditions of letting players play in this, but he's the best pitcher on the planet, and he's available to pitch in the championship game of the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, and a couple things that doesn't help his case, or like his agent or the Tigers organization, is the fact that he had the 65 pitch limit when he first played for us, and then he stayed an extra day, like got extended a day, and then he ultimately got recalled, where he did the whole interview on the field during BP. He was like, "I'll be back. Like, I don't think you understand how much this meant to me." Blah blah blah. And then like in the middle of the World Baseball Classic, when we could have been using him, like he goes out in spring training and throws like 72 pitches. And listen, when you're a Cy Young guy, it doesn't matter if you're throwing 70 pitches in, Palm Beach or in the World Baseball. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. But I would argue it does matter in the fact that the World Baseball Classic would have been a lot more important for overall just, feeling for him and the country, everyone who was involved. No one watched his spring training game.
Right.
If he was shutting it down before opening day, like, okay, but to go out there and continue to pitch legitimate innings in a high pitch count that was in line with the pitch count, allotment by the World Baseball Classic, it wasn't a good look. And I'm not a professional athlete. I know their hands get tied with their agents, and then there's a lot of I understand there's a lot of red tape between player, agent, organization.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm coming off a Cy Young, like, I'm injecting myself into that and like having some, and that's like a front office thing. It's like, dude, this would impact like how willing I am to be here long term with the Tigers.
And I feel like you can't show up to the game with
in uniform,
in the sweater of the gold medal winning Olympic hockey team. Just if you're gonna be there, that's fine. But just be a dude in the dugout or the bullpen.
Yeah. He had to be seen. But no, he's definitely a good dodo. Like, Aaron Judge is just my dodo because he's the team captain. He comes out championship game leading the team.
Entrance is pretty sweet for both teams. That was pretty cool. That walkout.
It was sweet. He's the cover of MLB 26, the show. He's coming off a great year at the Yankees, especially 2 years ago. And It's not just him, but like it did kind of highlighted like there's several points through the World Baseball Classic where he had big at bats with runners on that he just like squandered.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he was not good. I got excited because the very first game, Bobby Witt Jr. played out of his mind.
He's so good.
Not a lot of people know him
Mm-hmm.
in Kansas City, but he was pretty quiet the rest of the time, just a reliable shortstop. But at first, I was like, dude, Bobby, because when you think of like America, like American baseball, it's like a kid named Bobby playing shortstop, plays for a Midwest.
That's a ball player named Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, that's just a ball player.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, we squandered it. Again, though, it's awesome to see. You know, when we played Great Britain, they had that one like single A pitcher come out, and he was humming 98 with like a 78-mile-per-hour curveball, and he sat down like 2 through 5. Struck out Bryce Harper, struck out Aaron Judge, like just mowing him down.
How about that high school kid from Brazil? The guy's still in high school. He's just throwing like 98.
So, you know, and what's weird is like, so Tarek Scoble can't pitch in those games. He just go back to, but you have like, you know, Team Italy is a good example. You got like AA guys out there who by performing like that in World Baseball Classic, I'd have to assume within their organizations, like that is carrying weight as far as where they kind of rack and stack in their prospect list and where they see them long-term potential-wise.
And by Team Italy, you mean the New Jersey State American Legion team, right?
How many times they tell the story about the manager getting in his van and putting 15,000 miles on it, driving through Italy, and he splits his time between Italy and like the DR, Puerto Rico, or somewhere, and trying to grow. They said the story every inning. It seemed like
it was. I mean, like for Italy to be competitive, like I love it. Like it's just fun. Like Italy getting to the final round of 4. And I listened to like it was definitely with Mike Piazza. He was the manager for a while. I want to say the last 2 World Baseball Classics. And I mean, he was like, listen, like we want this team eventually to be like all Italian born and like bred players, like developed in Italy. But it's like at this point, like to grow the game, we have to go with like the birthright Italians.
That it's the same thing with like Great Britain, you know, they had kids who were from the islands, and they weren't necessarily eating fish and chips in between games, but they were.
I know they really leaned into the Italian American culture. You got Vinny Pasquantino doing like the kiss on each side of the cheek as people are coming back, but it was fun. It was a good bit. I have a question for you. Did you watch the U.S. Dominican semifinal game?
Yes.
Now, it was in the pregame, and I'm blanking on who the booth was, but it was the claim made that was the greatest collection of talent on a field at one time, as far as like starting 9. So I did a little research because I was really curious. And again, it's hard to say because these are all current ball players. But I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that before I get into like some of the numbers that I looked up.
Did he mean so John Smoltz was color? I forget who the play-by-play guy was. Were they referring to the 18 or the Dominican 9?
They were referring to the 8, like the U.S. Dominican, like the 18, like the starting 9 from each team.
I thought Team Venezuela had studs 1 through 9 more than Dominican Republic personally. So no, Dominican, they were to that point, they were lighting up the scoreboard and they had great pitching. Clearly wasn't enough to get past us, but I thought I guess what I'm saying is I had that reaction when I realized what Team Venezuela's lineup was, more so than the DR.
Okay. So this was with some help from producer researcher ChatGPT. But as far as like the prompt was like, what is the greatest collection on like a single field playing on one game? So I'm going to start with the 1934 Major League All-Star game. So of your 18 starters, 17 are Hall of Famers.
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah. I'll let you try and guess who the one that is not a Hall of Famer. I would be shocked if you get this.
In 1934?
I'll give you a hint. He's on the National League team.
I don't. Was it the? Were they still the Boston Braves? Or were they in Milwaukee? Like I don't even know.
Oh my! You're
Boston
like
Braves?
he's on the Boston Braves.
I'm gonna
Braxton,
stop there.
this would be incredible.
I don't have that pull. I can get you.
I still give you a
team.
ton of credit for knowing the team. Wally Berger, Boston Braves, center fielder. This was his second All-Star game.
I'll take the points for that.
But listen to the American League starting lineup. So pitcher Lefty Gomez, catcher Bill Dickey, first base Lou Gehrig, second base Charlie Gehringer, third base Jimmy Fox, shortstop Joe Cronin, left field Heine Manouche, center field Al Simmons, right field Babe Ruth.
Those names rock.
Yeah, they're all ball player names. Then on the NL team, they are all Hall of Famers. I'm not even gonna bother going through them because I actually didn't recognize a lot of them. But as far as like Hall of Famers go, that is on the field at one time the most. Getting into 1971, I think this is more players that we know of. And like just like this team is insane. The National League roster: Johnny Bench, Willie McCovey, Glenn Becker, Joe Torre, Bud Harrelson, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and Willie Stargell. That outfield is insane.
That's a nuts team.
And then for the American League team, so catcher Ray Fosse, first base Boog Powell, second base Rod Carew, third base Brooks Robinson, shortstop Louis Aparicio, outfield Tony Oliva, Frank Robinson, and Collier Shremsky. So all but two in that AL starting lineup were Hall of Famers, and then only three were not Hall of Famers on the AL side. Or no,
NL side.
NL side. Yep.
Yeah.
Then the last one, this one is for me. I'm biased, but 1999 All-Star Game. And a lot of these guys are not in the Hall of Fame due to the era that they played in. But
high OPS.
These starting lineups are the NL is crazy. Barry Larkin, Larry Walker, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, Matt Williams, Jeff Bagwell, Mike Piazza, Jeremy Burnitz, Jay Bell, Kurt Schilling starting pitching.
That's
on
the
the
lineup.
AL side: Kenny Lofton, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Ken Griffey Jr., Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome, Cal Ripken Jr., Rafael Palmeiro, Ivan Rodriguez, Roberto Alomar, and Pedro Martinez.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And then for that to be 99 too, that was a good time for baseball.
Yeah. And then even like your reserves too, like you got Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera in the pen, Alex Rodriguez. I mean, these teams were stacked. Absolutely stacked. So no, it was an interesting comment, and it made me think about like the greatest collection of talent. And maybe the 2026 semifinal game like will shake out as being the best collection of talent. I mean, a lot like Roman Anthony. He's just starting his career. I have predictions he's going to be one of the best of all time.
Really?
What do you think about Roman Anthony?
I think he's really good, and I think he got called up last year, and I think it's that's a you get good odds on that.
Yeah,
I think he was a top prospect last year.
He was. I think he was the number one prospect in baseball. So
I'm drawing a blank. I'm not trying to blow you off. Another example for the Dodo of the World Baseball Classic. And I don't know why I'm just completely blanking. Who was the manager for? Was it Team Italy or one of the teams who was not the nationality? He was an all-star.
Francisco Sardelli was the Italian.
He was the manager. No, this guy was like the bullpen coach or the
Posada?
Was it? Yeah, Jorge Posada.
Yeah.
He had like 3 ethnicities like naturally through like birth, and like but none of them were, and like those teams were playing, but he was a coach
for Italy. He was, yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's buddies with
Cervelli,
who's both former Yankees, but I'm fairly certain Posada like played for like Team Puerto Rico.
Yeah, there's like I mean, I did like before the Dominican Republic game having Big Papi, A-Rod, and Derek Jeter on the panel pregame was pretty fun.
They're good. They're a riot.
They do well together.
A-Rod's face doesn't move. He does a lot of Botox.
Kaylee took a selfie with A-Rod outside of like the ballpark village of Chicago Cubs game in like 2018.
That's pretty cool. Outside Chicago Cubs.
I don't know. Yeah, the Cubs game. I don't know how I feel about it, but she did do that.
Oh, we got some good chatter in the chat. So for Miss Amy Lewis, I hope the concessions at those baseball games were better than the Citadel baseball games.
Oh, I can fill you in on that.
Please.
Fair or foul, Dan. Go into a ballpark, a D1 baseball game, ordering a hot dog, and your hot dog being delivered on white Wonder Bread as the bun.
That is foul.
What would you do if say it comes in the tin foil, you go to put like your relish on, and you see it's white Wonder Bread?
I don't know. I would like. I don't have like the stones to like go back and like demand a bun, so I'd probably just be like fuming, like as I eat it.
Do you still eat it?
Yeah, I bought it. I'm hungry. And we got the Mad Hatter. He's chiming in a $7 hot dog to boot. That's kind of high for like a baseball game, a college game.
Yeah, well, I think when they first got the Wonder Bread dog, the Wonder Dog, we'll call it.
The Wonder Dog, I like that.
I think I don't know who they were playing. They were playing the smaller school, like maybe like Army, or I don't know who they were playing. But then they went to the Citadel Clemson game, and before the game, I think Mom texted and she's like, "I'm assuming since we're playing Clemson, they'll break out the real buns for this affair." And they did not break out the real buns for that. Are
they trying to like start something like a Citadel baseball, like the Wonder Dog? Is that like their like bit?
I don't know, but like it's upsetting because I had intentions on going to the Easter series for the River Dogs, which is at the same stadium, and I don't know like does the Wonder Dog venture into the single A concession stand? Like, is it who? Where's like the line of is the Citadel running it? Is it River Dog Park or whatever it is?
I think you should do some investigative journalism at the Citadel/River Dog ballpark and whoever they contract for vending services.
Yeah, it's not cool.
We're getting some more on Citadel baseball, but first, the Mad Hatter. He's saying that Pete Rose killed Ray Fosse's career. Yeah, he did. I know you know that highlight of the All-Star game of Charlie Hustle just barreling over the catcher.
You do that now, and like you're arrested.
Probably that's assault.
You're arrested.
Yeah. And then Miss Amy Lewis is saying 2 beers poured out of the same can. I'm assuming that
they got the 2 plastic cups and they used 1 beer to fill them both up, but you paid for 2 beers.
Yeah, that's messed
That's foul.
up. That's foul.
You got to go tap in that situation if you're going to do that to me.
That's foul. Man, that sounds. They gotta clean up their act. Woody Lou Sports and You is calling out. We should probably tweet at Citadel Baseball. I'll leave that to you, Braxton.
Well, I remember when we were at the Joe. I think you were at that game with me last year, or maybe you weren't. But anyway, we had gone to 2 games, and the first day of games, Dad was getting at the concession stand at the bar. He was getting his bourbon neat, which is how he takes his bourbon. And then at one point, I was going to make a drink run, and he's like, "Will you get me a bourbon?" I was like, "Yeah." And I go down there like, "Hey, can I get a double of your bourbon?" It's neat, and she's like, "It has to be on the rocks." And I was like, "I don't think you understand."
I was there for that. I do remember this.
Yeah. And I was like, "I need you to put the least amount of ice possible." And I think before, I was like trying to pull it out because I didn't want Dad to know it had been like tampered with.
I think we even asked for like, "Can we get a cup of ice and a cup of bourbon?" They did not want to play ball with us.
No.
Oh man. So yeah, World Baseball Classic. Now rolling into, got opening day this week. Red Sox open at Cincinnati on Thursday. I was contemplating making that drive for opening day, but you can never guarantee the weather. For these early April games, and I just have a very like vivid memory of like watching like opening day highlights probably years ago, and it just having like a snowstorm at Great America Ballpark, and that has spooked me from taking a leave or pass day and driving the 4 hours to Cincinnati.
But you do know that like Cincinnati is like it's a big deal for opening day there.
Oh, sure.
No, like yeah, it's like a holiday. Like that's the biggest crowd they'll have all year. So like it would be a destination, if you will, like place to go. You should do it.
Well, maybe I will now. I think I could probably still get the pass in.
Well, Sale is gonna mow down the Braves have had a hot spring training. I'll add. I think we're like 18-6 or 7 or 19-6 and 1 or something like that.
Beat the Red Sox the other day.
I think we're on a track to be back. I will say this: we have the injury bug already, and hot take: Spencer Strider has like Tim Lincecum level fall off this season.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised if
he kind of looks like he's like a huskier Tim Lincecum. He kind of looks like him.
He's a product of Clemson. I got a feeling.
So speaking of past days and leave for weekdays for sports, Braxton, I know you want to get into it. March Madness. What do you got?
Okay. Duke. I'm trying to do it. I'll do a macro and then I'll talk about what I want to talk about. I have not even. I'll do the disclaimer. I have not turned the March Madness on since about 5 p.m. Local. So Duke's beatable. Injury bug has them. They survived TCU yesterday, but don't see Duke making it out of Sweet 16. Definitely not Elite 8. North Carolina, Hubert Davis. They have to part ways. I don't know if they will, though. He might have another year. Florida's been Florida. Don't know if I think they're playing tonight, probably soon, actually. Bad feeling Tennessee's going to beat Virginia. Upsets, though, nothing. Gonzaga loses to Texas. Like, that upset doesn't really surprise me because I never put a lot of stock in Gonzaga. Whatever. So, the Kentucky-Santa Clara game, that was a 12:15 tip. My first week back at work. I have a meeting that morning, and I pull the key people in. I'm like, hey, what's the earliest we could kick people out? They were like, oh, we got this going on. And I was like, 12 o'clock is probably too early. And they're like, yes. I was like,
on a Thursday?
Is it? No, it was a Friday. It was Friday.
Okay, all right. You can do noon on a Friday.
I texted Sergeant Major and was like, are we doing a battalion thing? He's like, no, we're not. It's on the company. It's like, cool. So anyway, the feedback I got was like 1:30 was appropriate. 12:15 tip. So I go home at 12 for lunch. I watch the first 16 minutes. I watch the last 4 minutes on the drive back to work to 1. Halftime hits. I do a formation at 1:30. I had the game playing on my phone in my office. I walked back in, and we were losing, and there was like 7 minutes left or so. I'm watching. It's back and forth. We surely can't get over the hump. We tie the game. Then I get text messages in one of my Bible study group chat with a bunch of guys who I went to the Citadel with, who are like Clemson and South Carolina fans. And one of the texts was like, what the heck, exclamation point. And one other one was like, what just happened? And then I see the guy hit the 3. Santa Clara hits the 3 to go up 3. And there's 2 seconds left. And I was like, I didn't feel like their text messages warranted the response that they provided. So I keep watching. I'll tell you, Owe, clearly he hits the game retire, and we ultimately win in overtime against Santa Clara. My tweet thread was amazing on Woody Lou Sports and You. So check us out on Twitter if you want to see the range of emotions we've had going on there. But
At
we survived.
Sports is our X handle.
We survived Santa Clara. Today we come out and we're hot. We jump out to like a 20-9 lead. I think we were up by as much as 12. Once it hit like 20-9, I think they ended up finishing the game on like a 65-33 type. It was something stupid, 45 run, something just stupid. We lose by 19. We get 20 piece essentially by Iowa State, who doesn't have their best player because he has blown his ankle. I turned it off with about 12 minutes left in the game. And then I thought, when I turned it off, we were down 10. And I was like, maybe, I watched the last game on my phone. Maybe I can, hone some of that in. So I leave the living room where, Elliot's trying to, do my makeup and do my hair as we're just, losing this game. And I go back to the bedroom. I calm down. I put it on my phone, and now we're down, 18-20. So I went on a tweeting spree. My Dodo of the week is Mark Pope, because I'll show you how to be Mark Pope, the head coach of the winningest program in college basketball, the second most national championships. You got to cross your arms like this. You got to squint. And you peel that head out. And then you just squint. And you watch your players just get assaulted. And you watch this bald referee just call every foul on your guys and not the other guys, and you just, okay. And then it's beautiful. Hey, the players are beautiful. We played. Listen. I know we paid 22. I ain't talking about that. We got a European who clearly was not able to play in this game. He was terrible, and a freshman center who needs to gain 30 pounds. But guess what? Next year we're going to build on those two guys. Where we're going to get the money, we don't know. Are we relevant? No. I'll tell you this. Kentucky basketball is trending, Dan. They were trending this way. Last year, we went to the Sweet 16. This year, we went to the round of 32.
Yeah.
In Calipari's first 2 years, we went Elite 8, and then we went Final Four.
Yeah.
So we're trending in the wrong direction. Mark Pope, I think technically he got a 1-year extension last year for the Sweet 16, so he has 2 years left. He has a 3-year original contract, I'm pretty sure. We don't have an athletic director. Our athletic director technically resigned, but he doesn't officially resign until June 1st, in which he's taking a fraudulent job that the university president has provided him, where he's going to make – he got a $2 million thing for leaving. He got 10 lifetime tickets to any Kentucky event for the rest of his life, and he's going to become the head of Kentucky Athlete Work Relations, making $950,000 a year.
That sounds nice.
Coming out of the athletic department. We're pitiful. Mark Pope. I don't even blame Mark Pope. Mark Pope was Mark Pope at Utah State. He was Mark Pope at BYU. Mitch Barnhart, our athletic director. And I don't know why I just choose the most toxic people with the administrations, rather it be the Titans with their ridiculous trying to Botox, rebrand post-divorce. That's not working for them. And then you got, Alex Anthopoulos is in shambles for the Braves. He can't get a roster together to save his life right now. And then I got Mitch Barnhart and Eli Caputo, who should be investigated by Cash Patel, should open an investigation right now under the direction of Pam Bondi. And they should get investigated. It should be a whole thing. And so I tweeted at one point, congratulations, Mitch. Glad you chased the money. I hope this is the product you and your 9 guests want to see at all your free games you get to go to until you die.
Jesus.
So that's good. Next year, we're on track to losing the first round, and then we're NIT bound. And Cal did the same thing. His first year, we went Elite 8. His second year, we went Final Four. And then his third year, we won the national championship. And then his fourth year, we went to NIT. So it went, Elite Eight, Final Four, National Championship, NIT. We're going Sweet 16, round of 32, bounce in the first round. And then so within 4 years, they'll both have gone to the NIT, which is fair. There's a different way to do it. Obviously, Cal wins the SEC championship. He has Darius Acuff, who's just crushing it. Single-handedly saved them from getting beat by High Point yesterday in a game that Cal Perry loses 10 times out of 10 if he's the Kentucky head coach. And they're going to the Sweet 16 by beating a Hawaii team and a High Point team, which is just crazy awesome for Arkansas. I'm so happy for them. And we get bounced by an Iowa State team whose best player doesn't play. So, and we had the lead for the whole first half until the very last three-pointer they hit that gave them a 1-point lead, in which I texted the Mad Hatter and said that's the ball game right there, and I tweeted it as well on Woody Lou Sports on X. So yeah, he's not going to get fired. He has no direction. He refuses to hire a GM. We got a good baseball team. Baseball team's playing great. Baseball team's playing really well. Will Stein football, like Mark Pope's made us a football school, and that's I'm good with that. I'd love to be a football school, but the program's dead. I should have wore black tonight in mourning for them, but our basketball team is dead. We are no better than Indiana. We are no better than Tennessee football, where we just talk about the good old days, and every year we think it's still the good old days, but it's not the good old days. We are 24-14 or whatever, 23-14. We're pretty much Mississippi State. I think I said that. We're Mississippi State. We got a good baseball overall. We got a good baseball team. Baseball team might make the World Series. They'll make the tournament. They might host Super Regional. Football team could win 4 games. We could win 8 games. You don't know, but you're there for the ride. And then basketball is gonna. The basketball team might go 10-8 in conference. They might go 8-10. They might. You don't know. They might win a game. They play on Wednesday. We played on Wednesday in the SEC tournament. Mississippi State does that. Sometimes they get a bye. You never know. We're dead. And I'm done. And I'm tired of the blood pressure it allows me when I have a family to raise, and I'm trying to raise a family. I got 4 women in this house I'm trying to take care of, and Mark Pope. And I'm tired of people taking up for him because they make all this money, Dan. They make all this money. He lives in a freaking mansion for his family. I could go out there and do the same roster management as him. Roll the ball out there. I can pay assistant coaches to come up with a loose game plan, and I can cross my arms and say, okay, that's a beautiful shot. That's good effort. I can do that. And we lose. He puts in Jasper Johnson, who has no business playing. Everyone knows it. He puts him in. They go on a 9-0 run. Iowa State does, and that's the game. And then he has the audacity when I turn it back on my phone. When we're down 20, put Jasper Johnson. Jasper Johnson's going down there. He's shooting shots just to shoot them. He's not doing anything, and then Mark Pope shoot. So, they're too rich for me to care, and I don't feel sorry for them anymore. I wish I got paid that much money to worry about that thing. I get paid a lot less money to care about a lot more things that I argue are more important, so I don't feel sorry for them. I don't.
So you've declared them dead. What does Kentucky as a program need to do to rise from the dead? In Braxton Lewis's opinion.
Well, Dan, let's see. Time now is it is the 22nd of March. We have 0 recruits signed for 2026 or 27. So we have no recruiting class. We have 0 recruits signed. So the best case scenario for Mark Pope is for him to sign a bunch of people in the transfer portal that we've never heard of, keep his mouth shut. I don't care if we go out and beat the number 1 overall team in an exhibition like we did this year. It doesn't matter. He just needs to shut up, stop making excuses, and he needs to go out there. He needs to have a top 3 SEC regular season finish, or top 4 at least, get the double bye in the SEC tournament, make it to Saturday or Sunday, the SEC tournament, be a top 4 seed, and he needs to get an Elite 8. Because now we're in the biggest Elite 8 drought in program history, where we've gone to 6 tournaments without an Elite 8. The previous was 5. We're now at 6, the longest Elite 8 drought. We haven't been to the Elite 8 since 2019 when I was in college. Tyler Hero's team that beat Texas Tech in the Sweet 16 and then lost to Auburn in the Elite 8, team that we beat freaking 2 or 3 times that year. So, that's what he has to do, Dan. And if he doesn't do that, if he gets us to the round of 32, or if he takes us to the Sweet 16 and gets bounced, And we were a 5 to 8, 9 seed. He needs to move on, and we need to hire someone that's serious about Kentucky basketball and earns that paycheck and all that money that we're providing him.
Rick Pitino come back.
I don't want him back, but he probably would.
I was going to say, look at what he's done with St. John's. Talk about like transfer portal and the ability to turn a program around in 3 years. I mean, I've said this before on this show. Rick Pitino is, in my opinion, the greatest college basketball coach of all time.
No, he has the stats, the track. Yeah, but no, we need. What makes me mad, I love, Mark Pope's a genuine man of faith. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But like today, dude, his players are getting assaulted. We had 20-something turnovers.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
we had the most turnovers we've had since like 2000.
Yeah. There's some bad possessions in that game. I was watching it. It was just a lot of dribble, and then just huck up a three. It was bad.
It was terrible. But what makes me mad is we're Kentucky. There should be no reason that we have a Todd Golden, and Alabama wasn't great. I mean, they played today, I think. But they weren't great in the regular season so much so. But you got Todd Golden, you got Nate Oates. You got these guys who, like, their poo don't stink, if you know what I mean. Like, they just walk and talk with swagger in the same conference. Like, we need that guy. That's who we deserve. I don't want Todd Golden like hitting up co-eds while he's here coaching, but we need a guy with that type of mentality as far as like cockiness on the court, and he takes what's his and he owns it. That's what we need.
We got some good chatter in the chat from our UK faithful, Miss Patsy. She said, I also turned it off. I like Mark Pope, but she agrees with you, Braxton. And then the Mad Hatter is he's chiming in. He's pretty fired up. Pope is out of his depth. He's acknowledging the 0 recruits right now. And literally, I wouldn't let him coach the all-Army team. He would turn them into the Space Force. Playing Space Jam with the Looney Tunes.
And this is a culture thing, Daniel. Now, granted, Jaden Quaitons is going to be a draft pick in first round. He played like 3 games for us. Why do I got a player reading comic books during media opening in the locker room? So the media's in the locker room, and I got a player reading a comic book. What kind of culture is that? I want you blaring music, bobbing your head. I want you to look so freaking locked in and psychopathic that they don't want to come and ask you.
That's Gen Z, man. I don't think they have the fire, Gen Z.
Dude, and this is Kentucky for you. We got NBA teams saying, "Hey, who are you rooting for in the championship or in the tournament?" And you got these Kentucky guys, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Arkansas or Kentucky, and then you got Tyrese Halliburton, the leader of the Halliban, tweeting, "I was going to text some of the Kentucky guys and talk crap to them, but I forgot they thought they were Arkansas alumni now because they're all on Arkansas." So, dude, we are in such a bad place. And then the only person we have like semi vouching for it, but I think he does it in the worst way, is Matt Jones. Because I don't even think Matt Jones is he wants Kentucky to be good, but it's almost for him it's about being right than being good, and it just makes me mad, man. It makes me so mad.
So who do you have in your Final Four? How are you doing in your bracket? Did you make a bracket?
So I did make a bracket. First, I only made one bracket, and is the first year I didn't pick Kentucky. I had Kentucky losing this game, which is the first time in my lifetime I've ever picked a bracket where they didn't win the national championship. I had in my Final Four, I'm pretty sure it was Duke and North Carolina, so obviously North Carolina's out. And then Michigan and someone else, and then I had – it wasn't chalk. It was Michigan and someone else, and then it was Duke and Michigan winning it all.
That's a good pick. Michigan's solid. Houston's looked very good. They've been pretty dominant in their first.
Well, the first
games.
like 5 or 10 minutes of that game against Texas A&M, like Texas A&M had them pretty decent. They pulled away by time.
Yeah. Well, unless you have anything else on March Madness, I think, talking about Mark Pope, the great Mormon Hope, good segue into not on the ticker, but big news this past week of our favorite Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Taylor Frankie Paul, and her news with the cancellation of her Bachelorette season.
So I've never been more mad at myself, Dan. I don't think I've finished season 3. So I know I still have season 4, and they just released season 5, which had spoilers from The Bachelorette. So I need to get caught up.
Same.
But the video comes out.
Did you see the video?
I watched the whole video. And the couple things. Video's from 2023.
Yes.
The video is from the incident where she got arrested that ended, I believe it was season 1 leading into season 2.
Yes.
So a couple thoughts. I thought that was a backup.
Sure.
This past week, allegations come out that they had to cancel filming because of a new domestic incident between her and
Baby daddy.
Baby daddy, or one of her baby daddies, Dakota. I don't know what it was. I'm sure they would have done a FOIA by now if it was body cam or police related. But I just saw like, hey, there's some stuff going on. They had to cancel filming or pause filming. And then that video comes out, which I think led a lot of people to believe that video was what they were talking about, why they had to stop filming. Maybe they had to stop filming because that video was coming out and they knew there was going to be back. I don't know. Video comes out. I thought it was kind of lowbrow by Dakota's PR team because it's a clear attack or like attempt to like shut down the airing of The Bachelorette, which was fully filmed to conclusion. I'm pretty sure, based off spoiler alert, she ends up picking a guy who she gets engaged to for like 2 months, and then ends up the engagement gets broken off because she's still in love with Dakota.
Shocker.
Yeah, she's still obsessed with Dakota. And apparently, like she slept with Dakota the night before she left for filming. I guess that came out in season 5. So I don't think it's cool that they posted that because ABC is ABC.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they were going to cancel it until I saw a tweet from a renowned political commentator, Tommy Lauren, who I've never put too much stock in, but she tweeted, "No way ABC doesn't cancel Taylor Frankie Paul's season because let me check my notes. Chris Hansen was canceled for saying don't cancel a Bachelorette contestant because she went to like a KA or a Kappa, whatever the fraternity
the questionable like sorority thing.
It was the Old South KA party they had where they have a Confederate flag. So then I saw that tweet. I was like, oh yeah, she's definitely cooked. If he didn't even do anything wrong. He just said, hey, let's be graceful to this woman. He gets canceled. So she was done. They come out and they cancel.
Chris Harrison got canceled for that. It's a different time.
Chris Hansen got canceled for saying, hey, let's give this girl a break.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she did that in college.
Yeah.
That's correct. That we could go on a whole thing about culture now. And Chris Hansen's the best guy. I'd let Chris Hansen babysit my kids. It's Chris Hansen. Anyway, it's like the guy from Survivor. That guy rocks. I don't know his name. Can't think of it.
Jeff Probst.
Jeff. Anyway, so the video's terrible.
It's not good.
If you
and her kid got hit and had like an egg lump. That's bad. That's bad.
If you watch the video with a watchful eye, like it starts out with apparently something happened in the garage before then. I think Kaylee was telling me where like he may have hit her in the garage, and then the filming was when they got back into the house, maybe allegedly, and she obviously is assaulting him. Then he goes to the living room next to the kid.
Mm-hmm. She's throwing stuff. Chairs.
Two schools of thought. Like he goes to the next to the kid so he can like identify, hey, there's a kid here, like stop. But also like once she threw the first chair at him, like maybe he should have like just walked out of the house because like he was the threat to her, not the kid. The filming stops and the cops show up. Like different ways they could have handled it. I think people. It's very easy to victim blame him, but I think they were both victims in their own respect, and I think
it was a mutual affray.
He was egging her on by some of the language he was using. So, I'm pissed because I wanted to watch the season so bad, and it was supposed to air tonight, and I was gonna DVR it and then watch it after the show.
It's gonna be selfishly, it's gonna be good content for Woody Lou Sports and you.
And I told you, like, ABC messed up because she needs an attorney more than ever right now. And they should have cast you because you'd be a good contact for her to reach out to, pro bono work.
Yeah.
Not legal advice, of course.
But, oh my,
maybe a little just conversation.
I remember seeing it when I was watching season 1, but the resurfacing, that's a rough mugshot for TFP. With that nice
people on Twitter were like, band makeup.
Yeah, that's a bad look. And then, but also, again, not a legal podcast. Again, we're not a legal podcast. But I was saw a post that a bunch of the male contestants are getting together to file a lawsuit against ABC, and it's like twofold. It's like, hey, we put aside like our works, our lives for this to be aired, and get all the benefits of being on television. But then there's also a claim that ABC knowingly like put them into close quarters with like a known person that has committed domestic violence. Stop
it.
You can make a claim for anything. Like it's easy. It's easy to file a lawsuit.
You can, yeah. Now here's where I'd say stop it. And I texted this to you. I said the only shining light in all of this is it saved the world from 20 dudes trying to become brand ambassadors and influencers on Instagram. And then bringing this suit forward just further highlights that these people signing up for these shows, except for Dan, they aren't signing up for love. Nope. These shows are watched by millions upon millions of people. If they are one or two things, like semi-attractive and have a six-pack, or are like a good personality, these mega fans are going to find their social media handles. They're going to follow them, which then brings in ads and brand deals and makes to where they don't have to go back to their jobs they had beforehand. And then they live off, every post they have gets ad revenue and they get revenue. So these people, once
they start their own podcast,
yeah, those people suck. And like all these people who get selected to be on the show, in their mind, like when they're going to HR and saying like, hey, like I got this opportunity, in their head, they're not coming back to this job no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter what, even if they don't get the rose on the first night and they get the boot, like they can segue that into like a behind the scenes look at Taylor Frankie Paul season, like whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They get a cheap payday even if they're in the first ones out. And then God forbid you're one of the people that makes like the final 10. Like you're set.
Yeah.
Like you'll at least make enough short-term money where you can invest it and diversify it, and
I feel like if
probably go back to work, but
you get real desperate, you just make your own OnlyFans account. There's plenty of ways to make $1 in 2026.
So that lawsuit just shows it. And domestic violence is not funny, and I've had to deal with it from like a police side, and it's dirty. But for them to say like, "Oh, you had us around like a predator," rather it be Taylor Frankie Paul or Dakota. I almost guarantee Dakota made an appearance at some point in that season. One thing is safe to say is like they don't care about those people. Like it's a heated thing, and then those people, like they have this big blow up, and that's in 2023. So there's been 3 or 4 seasons filmed since that incident where her and Dakota are. You don't know what's for television, what's not, but they're in close quarters. They slept together before she went to filming. Like it's just one of those. It's a bad situation, but it just to act like their lives were in imminent danger by that, like that's a stretch. I hope a judge.
It's a pretty meritless claim, in my opinion. Knowing the House of Mouse, I'm sure those contracts are airtight, where there is no claim for damages for the season not airing.
And they get stipends for these things. They're
They were
making they're
paid. Yeah,
getting a stipend
you're paid during the season.
while you're there. And
Yeah.
then and I don't know, it's probably a flat rate, but I'm sure that flat rate covers what they were making in the civilian world, or they were
I doubt
they're
it.
able to
No,
that.
I bet they're probably making it's probably like 30,000, like to be on the show.
Yeah, but okay, so if 30,000 is still going to compensate them for the time span they're there, because they're only filming for a couple of months.
Yeah, and they don't film on weekends. Like it's really
So
like, and also you get to like you're living in these like resorts, like free booze, like
yeah, like you cut your lease at your apartment and you cut your whatever.
Mhm.
So I'm really upset now. Warner Brothers and like ABC they're not happy with each other. I saw a story where like ABC and Warner Brothers mad at ABC because ABC made a decision to pull, but Warner Brothers is on the hook financially for a lot of the cost of the episodes and the things they did, and like they've lost enough money from canceling it to where like it's enough money for them to not. They're pissed, like it's not a good deal. Like they're upset that they had to cancel.
Update from the Mad Hatter: Florida down 1, 4.5 seconds to go. So for our live listeners, thank you for watching us. But Florida is down 1.
To Nebraska?
No, Nebraska beat
No, they just played Vanderbilt
last night.
VCU?
Let me see.
I don't care about basketball anymore. I won't watch another game.
I was gonna say I am also not. Florida is playing. Where are you, Florida?
VCU is my guess. Unsure. It shouldn't be that hard to Google.
I have Iowa.
Oh, Iowa. Well, what are you gonna do?
9 seed Iowa.
Good for them. And that's why I can never be like I'd love to be the new Matt Jones, but I couldn't do it for Kentucky sports. I could do it for football, but for basketball, like I'm too Kentucky football. We could go 4-8. I'm still watching every college football playoff game. Blah blah blah. But with basketball, like when we lose in the tournament, I'm done. I won't watch another second.
I remember. I thought this year might be a different year because you went in with expectations. So you even picked Kentucky bowing out in the second round.
If we have any like future employers listening to the podcast, like if we were asked to be representatives of the Louisville Kings or Louisville Bats or a pro team, like that's different. Because I can be objective and still a fan and objective, but when it comes to Kentucky basketball, like I just can't.
You act irrationally when it comes to your first love.
Yeah, no, it's just not fair.
So, anything else on basketball? Iowa wins. Down goes Florida. Official. Anything else on basketball? Because I have another segue. This was actually a listener suggested topic specifically for episode 33. So anything else on basketball, Braxton?
Good to go.
Okay. So for episode 33, Tony in Weymouth, he wanted our take on what was the better on-field fight involving number 33s. So the first one is the famous picture of Larry Bird and Dr. J, of Dr. J like holding Larry Bird by his neck, like it looks like he's like strangling him. So this was a game this was November 1984, and kind of the background is that, big rivalry between the Celtics and the 76ers in the 80s. The Celtics beat the 76ers in the playoffs to go on to win the 84 championship. And in this early game of the 1984-85 season, Julius Erving, he snaps, and him and Bird are both ejected. Are you looking at the picture?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now.
Yeah. So that's one. Then you probably remember this one. I vividly remember this. I was watching it live. This was number 33, Jason Varitek, after John and Chirpin with Alex Rodriguez, and then hitting him in the face with his mitt. Another iconic photo. So number 33, episode 33, those fights, or if you want to bring in another on-field brawl that is close to you, Braxton.
No, the answer is clearly the A-Rod and Veritek, because while I've been in bed, you can ask Kaylee, I'll go on YouTube, I'll just watch like him. My dad was here one night, and I was just one of like best like strike three calls, best brawls. So that one I knew off the top of my head. And anytime the Yankees and Red Sox fight, it's always memorable. And I think A-Rod sucks, and I think he thinks he's too cute, and I don't like him. And I think he has a disdain for Derek Jeter that we'll never really truly know the depths of. Anyway, so I'd pick that one. The one that is close to me though is would have to be Donnie, who we've talked about. He's number 33, and yes. It was not a brawl, but it was his canceling after hitting I don't know if it was a walk-off hit or if it was like he hit a double, which he was a go-ahead run against the Cubs. And they found a tweet of his in which my old Twitter handle was a part of when I was in high school, where it was friendly banter between guys on the baseball team. Like we were all friends, and our first baseman, Juicy, had said something to him, and like we were all on the thread. And Brendan called him a derogatory term for people that 16 and 17-year-olds use pretty liberally. And once he beat the Cubs, obviously the Cardinals and Cubs don't like each other.
Right.
They found that tweet. So, and it just shows that people will just go to your Twitter and just do the search and just like type in words that can get you canceled.
Sure.
But I remember that happening. And then a fallout of that was me and Brendan had an Instagram page that we made in high school called Bad Lab Fitness, Braxton and Donnie Fitness, and we just added the lab because it sounded cool. And so senior year, I co-opted, and me and him both had. So like when I co-opted, I only had 2 classes a day. So literally, my senior schedule was environmental science, like earthworms, and then weight training. So I had 1 class a day, and weight training. It was just me and Donnie are the only ones in the weight training class. My computer's about to die live on air. And
oh no.
So anyway, we made this Instagram page. Me and him would like get in these crazy workouts, during second period. And he texts me and he's like, "Hey dude, like, clearly under some heat here with the stuff going on." And he's like, I'm trying to delete this Instagram page, but like your email is a recovery email, blah, blah. And I was a lieutenant. And dude, I spent hours trying to get that thing recovered and like deleted. And I got it deleted because he said his agent was trying to as well. His agent was working with Instagram and couldn't get it done. And I get it deleted and I sent it to him like, "Hey dude, I got it deleted." And I thought, we're boys. But I thought maybe like, "Hey, your agent wasn't doing this for free."
Yeah.
No, I just got to thank you, bro, which is fine. But that was also
money before he had money.
But that was also me erasing like my claim to fame from the interwebs. So
we're rebuilding it with Woody Lou Sports and you.
Yeah, we'll be interviewing all kinds of all-stars one day, so it won't matter. It'll be just another day at the office for us.
That's right. So yeah, no, I thought that was a listener suggested segment. Tony from Weymouth, longtime listener. Sometimes commenter, so I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Tony rocks. And while we're talking about people,
sure.
I'm out on Heated Rivalry. I'm bowing out.
I haven't watched episode. What did we didn't even get to episode 3.
Yeah, I'm bowing out.
Okay, did you watch episode 3?
Yeah, sorry, it's too much.
No spoilers. I haven't watched it. But you're out.
Yeah, I just can't do it anymore.
Well, Annie in Boston's gonna be very disappointed.
And I'm sorry, Annie. If you have any more show recommendations, we'll start it. I can't. I'm out.
You're out. Okay. Well, speaking of shows, a great segue into our final ticker topic, and this started with just a text conversation we had because I know you're watching Modern Family or rewatching Modern Family. So we're gonna do our Mount Rushmore of specifically network. So the big networks, your CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, sitcoms.
Can we do an honorable mention from another network? Not as part of the Mount Rushmore. An honorable mention.
Well, what's okay? Give me the network. Maybe it falls into network.
TBS.
No.
Honorable mention though.
You can do honorable mention. That cannot be in your Mount Rushmore.
Okay. So Modern Family, it's not a rewatch necessarily. It's a first time watch for me because it was one of those shows that my parents were like kind of like watching because I think I'm the exact same age as Alex, or I might be a year older than Alex in the show in real life. And so like for reference, whenever age you see her in the show, this is how old I was. But yeah, since I've been down the knee, I wanted something that I could watch pretty consistently. That show is hilarious. It is the funniest show.
Funny. It's so good.
The Cam guy, the heavy set gay husband, is the funniest character on TV. Now, I may and there's like and I judge a sitcom by like, am I actually laughing? And like there's moments where like Kaylee had to come check on me because like I was losing air. And it's not every episode, but there's some episodes. Modern Family, that's what sprung the thought in my head because for me, it took over The Office. As far as like, I love The Office. But if I'm talking about a full on sitcom storyline and comedy and all, like Modern Family took it. So for me, my top 4, Modern Family, or no order, just Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, just Mount Rushmore.
Modern Family, The Office. You have to put Seinfeld in there. And you tried to convince me. I love Parks and Rec. I love Arrested Development, which I don't think I count as a sitcom. I don't think it meets our threshold. This is hard, Dan.
It is. There's a lot of good shows.
Maybe Modern Family, Seinfeld, Modern Office, and maybe King of Queens. Final answer.
That's right. You love. I forgot your love for Kevin James.
I gotta go King of Queens.
And we'll get into honorable mentions too, because you brought up we our text conversation. You brought up some I would say like sleeper picks that like I remember watching those shows like all the time, like coming home from school and they were like reruns on TBS. So I'm gonna go with mine.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec is in my Mount Rushmore. I think Parks and Rec, as far as like a complete, actually it starts off slow, but then just gets better. And from like start to finish is just a complete show that is every season is so funny. I think it's better. I think it's better than The Office. It's like those kind of like those NBC, like when NBC was really, hitting above their weight class with comedies, network comedies. Seinfeld is in there. Seinfeld's my favorite sitcom. Seinfeld is so funny. Each episode, like I'm in stitches laughing. Even to this day, too, like rewatching it. It's dated, but it still holds. Then I'm gonna go with Cheers. I love the show Cheers, and those like it is the writing on that is so good, and like how it's in the 80s, so they got a little more risque, but there are some great jokes in there that are like appropriate for network TV. And then my 4th one, I am going to go with The Office because when The Office was at its peak, it was the funniest show on television.
Yes.
I got Seinfeld, Office, Parks and Rec, Cheers.
That's a good list. Now, we were having the conversation in our production group chat, and Kaylee reminded me of one of my favorite shows, How I Met Your Mother. And if I'm being honest, the only reason How I Met Your Mother is not in my Mount Rushmore is because of how much I despise Ted, who is the main protagonist.
Yes.
And it's difficult for me to despise the protagonist of a show than put it as a Mount Rushmore.
And I think that my Mount Rushmore goes to like rewatchability. And I do remember like when How I Met Your Mother was on TV, and I was watching it like as it went, and like it was how season 7 or season 2 episodes would like foreshadow season 7 episodes. Like it was creative. It was well done. It was well written.
It's an Easter egg show.
It was cool, but it's not it's funny, but it's not great on rewatch.
Like you're sitting down to eat dinner and it's on TV, you rewatch.
Yeah,
like just an episode comes on.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm probably changing I'll be honest, I'm probably changing the channel.
That's fair. That's fair.
But it was when it was on, it was very funny.
And then the other one for me, and I've been chasing this high since, I mean, at least 2006. So I vividly remember when we lived in Fort Knox and I was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. That was like quintessential for me. Come home, especially like in the spring, summer. I'd come home, do my homework, and you would have King of Queens into Yes Dear into Braves. Braves are still on TBS. And Yes Dear was, I thought, just the best. And
Yes Dear. So that's a show that you mentioned. I was the same way. It was always on TV. It was rerun. So it is a network show. It was originally on CBS, so it counts.
I just never watched it. I mean, I was so young. But I had the biggest crush on the wife.
Greg's wife, right?
Greg's the
studio guy. Yeah.
Yeah. The curly hair girl. I had a huge crush on her.
Great minds.
Which also like crush on Elaine too. So I don't know if like that frizzy hair of like that time period, like that, I guess if like I was like if I was of dating age, I guess back then, like you had frizzy hair, I was all in on you. Maybe there's some correlation there. But Yes Dear. And the premise was hilarious because Jimmy, like, he was just such a dude. And
there's a Boston guy, Mike O'Malley, is the best.
I mean, and I just felt like Greg, because you got to think, and this is definitely dissecting a TV show way too much. But like, Greg's a hardworking dude who has like a good life for him and his family. And even though he's at odds with Jimmy, like clearly his heart's huge to still welcome his mother-in-law suite to these people. And I don't know. I thought it was great. And even as like how old would I have been then? Like 8-year-old, 9-year-old. Like I could recognize the humor and all of that. So
it was a wholesome
I've been
show.
chasing my tail. If that show came out on Netflix, it would be on 24.
It was probably on Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus is one of those things you got me for free when you boondoggled me into the credit card.
Hard card, that's right.
Dude, I never get on Paramount Plus though. I have the
Paramount Plus has a lot of good content. Viacom, like, because it's all CBS, MTV, Paramount, Comedy Central.
I never get on there.
A lot of good stuff. Modern Family.
I might log in.
You should. So Modern Family just missed the cut for me. But some other honorable mentions. Everybody Loves Raymond. I love that show. I thought that was so funny.
On his job.
Wings is another kind of deep cut from like the early 90s. It's a spin-off of Cheers. And then for me, it's more nostalgia, but like growing up, ABC's TGIF lineup of like Full House, Boy Meets World, Family Matters. Those were for me all bangers for network sitcoms.
Full House was the first sitcom I ever watched and like understood what I was watching. And again, like older. Now it was age appropriate. Like Stephanie, when she was older in the episodes, I had a huge crush on Stephanie. We were age appropriate. She's older than me. And then there's an episode on there that I really liked, and maybe as a girl dad now it resonates more, is the episode when Stephanie's dating the baseball player and he played for the Little League Giants, and she was like better than him. I loved that episode. So I loved Full House. I loved Uncle Jesse. I loved I can't think of the Jerry. What? No,
Joey, Uncle Joey.
Joey, Uncle Joey. Yeah, loved it.
I used to love it when they would like take the show on the road. Like my favorite sitcom episodes are like when they go like to Disney World. So Full House did it. Boy Meets World did it. Oh, another great show. I think it was CBS or NBC, but Step by Step. Awesome show. Suzanne Summers.
I won't put you on the spot here, but this is just something shows is. Can you remember the joy of like crossover episodes?
Oh yeah.
So I can remember a crossover episode between two shows that I liked, like blew my mind. And what's cool now as a dad is like two examples. One, my kids were watching Wreck-It Ralph, like the second one. And in Wreck-It Ralph, the second one, all of the Disney princesses are in it.
Okay.
And like in their head, like Wreck-It Ralph was different than like their Disney princesses. So like when they saw that, like their brains exploded. And then there was they're watching some Bluey thing where Mickey Mouse and them end up on the show, and they're just like, what? Like so that's like the beauty of TV, because I can remember like when Hannah Montana and Sweet Life of Zack and Cody would do like their crossover episode, and like that was like they may have been like a little past your time, but like that was like a big deal for me.
So I wasn't like those like the Disney Channel, like those like big stars. I was a little older, so I didn't.
So that was
like those like, because it wasn't like Demi Lovato and what's her name, Ariana Grande. They were like Disney Channel stars.
I was too old for them. Mine were Brenda Song and Ashley Tisdale. Those were my girls.
Gotcha.
And then Jamie Lynn Spears on Zoe 101. I was distraught because her and Chase were just about to get together, and she decides to get 16 and pregnant, and just ruined that for me.
I don't know.
Like
Chase, it was Chase,
the boy. So
character.
Thinking back, like as a parent, like you got to think. My mom was dealing with a boy who was in third grade, who was in love with baseball, and had a dad who was grounding him from his other shows he liked for bad performances. But you have a kid who loves to play baseball, but also is obsessed with Monday Night Raw circa 2005.
Cutting his own promos.
But also was like sitting at the edge of his seat to see if Zoe and Chase on Zoe 101 Nickelodeon fall in love. Like
That's good, man.
I had a lot going on.
You spread yourself out. You had feelings. You had a lot of feelings as a young boy.
And also like watching Yes Dear on the low. Like I had a lot going
on the low.
I had range.
So this we were going live last week, and then familial duties came in. The graphic, and by the way, to the chat, so I quickly put the graphic together each week with the use of AI. So like whatever gets spit out by the prompt is usually what we go with. Like I think this week the Mount Rushmore has like 6 heads, so not very
I'm pretty
accurate.
I'm pretty sure like Reba's on the far right. I want to make
that's Lucille Ball. That's I Love Lucy. That's definitely I Love Lucy.
I want to make it clear, especially for the Mad Hatter, that Reba is the worst TV show ever created. Ever created.
I feel like you Reba took a shot at your father.
He needs to know. He knows. Reba McEntire, I have never been more annoyed by a person in my life. I'm out on Reba. Her stock is down. Also, I was looking at the graphic again. RIP Chuck Norris. We'd be remiss.
Oh yeah, we got to do that. Thank you. We'll close with RIP Chuck Norris. But I want to say, Tony from Weymouth was he was very angry that Always Sunny was not in the Mount Rushmore, but that doesn't count. FX is a cable channel. It was specifically network sitcoms.
I like The League better.
The League, the League is so funny, but like the League isn't going to age well because it was like those players were like such like in.
When they had the white party, that was so on the League, the white party, and then when they were trying to do the draft, and I forgot they were in the person's house and they had the porn star there. They were trying to draft and they had the porn star in the house.
Dirty Randy.
Episodes. Oh, Oh,
That
the
was
whiteout party was the
great
funniest thing.
bonding in Poland. We watched the league.
Oh man, that's a good show. Highly recommend. Dad, you would like that show. The League. You can find that on your Disney Plus subscription.
Yeah, that's Disney Plus Hulu. That's a good FX has a lot of good shows.
Always Sunny's good. That one guy though, the dude who bought the soccer team with Ryan Reynolds,
What's his name?
McElhinney? Yeah, Mac. I got to take him in doses.
Okay.
He's a lot. He's a lot for me.
But yeah, we can get into our close of the show. Walker, Texas Ranger, not in my Mount Rushmore, but I do remember watching that show coming home from school.
That was a TNT show.
Repeat. Yes, it was. It was. Oh, I think it was CBS when it first aired.
Yeah, but TNT reruns. I think it had a little stint on Spike.
Yes, it definitely had.
What a network Spike was. We need Spike back.
Well, that's Paramount became Spike, or Spike became Paramount.
Spike.
But Spike was. Remember, Spike had most extreme elimination challenge, and what was the battle ball? What was the basketball with the trampolines? I forget what that was. Slam ball.
I know what you're talking about. But Spike was one of those channels where, like, when I was watching, I had to have like my hand pressed on like the last channel in case like my parents came in. Like, I always had to have Spike ready to change because you didn't know what you were getting on Spike. Spike, like in the middle of the night, if you fell asleep with Spike TV on, like Spike was running Girls Gone Wild ads at like.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Call in 1-800.
Yeah, like it's crazy. That was a different time.
A different era. It was a different era for sure. But yeah, Chuck Norris. I couldn't believe he was 86 years old. He looked good for 86.
He just posted that Instagram video of him fighting or him like throwing punches in Hawaii. Walker, Texas Ranger. I can vividly remember watching that at my cousin's house all the time. I saw one final. He was a veteran. He served in the Air Force.
Yep.
Him being in the Air Force ultimately got him into martial arts when he was stationed in South Korea. But I saw one final. It was respectful. Obviously, it's all in good taste. Because I think Chuck Norris might be the most universally bipartisan loved person this country has.
Yes, I think that's right.
You'd be stretched thin to find someone who didn't like Chuck Norris.
He's truly an American treasure.
Someone tweeted like, Chuck Norris passed away. However, upon review of his death certificate, he found a couple of grammatical errors, which he resurrected to correct. At which point he deemed his death certificate suitable. He decided to lay down and go to his final resting place. And I thought that was I didn't do it justice, but something along those lines. I thought it was a good send off for Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Definitely. Yeah. He was like in his action movies in like the 70s and 80s. Like he became famous with Bruce Lee. Then Walker, Texas Ranger. But then it was probably mid 2000s, like the Chuck Norris memes.
Some kid made a website.
Yeah.
So some kid like had an algorithm for a joke generator, and then like he did like this thing for like which celebrity, and then someone wrote in Chuck Norris, and then just like went from there, and it lasted over 20 years. So
good.
They're always funny. They were never not funny.
Then he had that great cameo in Dodgeball.
The Expendables.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone hit him with a Chuck Norris joke, that's an example of a crossover episode, I guess. So Chuck Norris, R.I.P. It makes you think if he dies at 86 with the health that he was in, my days are numbered.
Yeah.
I guess I never really felt mortal until Chuck Norris died, and now I know death is a real thing. It can't.
Yep. And I think that's a good. Life is short. Cherish it. Braxton, any final thoughts?
No, I'm glad to be back. Hopefully, we can continue to be consistent on Sundays.
Yeah, I think we will. I think we'll be consistent. And to our award, yes, you got one announcement. Yes,
I can barely see it, and I think Patsy put the Andy Griffith Show.
Yes.
Andy Griffith is black and white episodes only, unlimited rewatchability. phenomenal. Him buying the used car with all the problems, I don't think I'm doing it justice. When they bought the car, that was just a complete jank, and like the horn and all that stuff was messed up. It's one of the best episodes I've ever watched, and I cried. A lot of good angles with that show, though, and the citizens' arrest. Citizens arrest. Citizens arrest.
Is that when you decided to become an MP?
Yeah, I was inspired by Barney Fife to become a law enforcement officer.
To our award-winning listeners, thank you, and don't forget to like, subscribe, download, and share. That is it for me and Braxton. Until next week, everyone have a great week.